Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I hope you guys are all alive, excited, and full of energy this morning.
Good morning.
We've got the
Morning.
great Sherwood Home Inspection Company with us, which is awesome. Hopefully, you guys are going to educate us. But as we do most mornings, let's open the floor. Does anybody have anything in particular that's just a great share for the group today? All right, nothing super pressing. I've got a laundry list of stuff that I would love to get to today, but we're going to give you guys the floor on the inspection side, see what you guys have teed up. One reminder I do want to give today, no show on Friday. I will be traveling, so no show on Friday. We will be back tomorrow, and we will be back on Monday, just nothing on Friday. All right. John?
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic.
So you just got me today, and I wanted to kind of talk about, the state of the state out there. Our inspection numbers are a bit of a roller coaster. So, we're just curious to see what you're seeing out there with inventories. Kind of how the sales are going for you. Are buyers waiving inspections? I guess it's a buyer's market right now, or moving in that direction. So what are you seeing out there as far as, a topic of discussion?
Well, for New England, it's definitely, and let's make sure we're just getting our terminology right. Definitely a seller's market in New England, buyer's market in Florida, right? So sellers are still driving everything here in most of New England. I would say. I don't know if anybody wants to chime in and disagree. And I do know that we've got coming soon this Massachusetts law going into effect where you cannot waive that home inspection. I don't know if Lauren is on with us this morning. I know she's been tracking this. I saw it somewhere in the news yesterday. It's not quite fully in effect yet, but I think it's coming by July, where you will not be able to waive your home inspection. And the thought being that, a lot of buyers got burned during, the craziness that was COVID and a little bit of post-COVID, where we're just buying stuff, waiving inspections. And most buyers probably do need a home inspection, to feel comfortable with the house. They didn't really know what they were buying. They weren't comfortable, but they had to do what they had to do to win. And now you've got it you got a lot of buyers I think are in some major trouble because they did probably what their agent told them to do, um, you know, and we got to be careful with that stuff. Even with the time that's left here while we can do this, if you're going to recommend this as a strategy, you also have to make the same recommendation that we don't think it's a good idea that you buy a house without a home inspection. Unless you're a licensed contractor and you feel comfortable doing so, an agent should always be recommending home inspection. Now, at the same time, you can say one of the strategies is X, Y, or Z, one of which being, to waive your inspection to make it look a little more, look a little better, obviously, to that seller. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this law comes into play, and how it gets monitored and et cetera. So, I would say that's kind of what we're seeing, Dave. I mean, it's definitely, or yeah, Dave, John. You got to change that name when you come on, or else I'm going to keep
Sorry.
calling you. I'm going to keep calling you Dave.
Sorry, I'll change it.
But yeah, I don't think anybody's, surprised. It is. It's definitely slow. I know a lot of agents are grinding and inventory is low, and I don't know if anybody else wants to kind of comment. I think that's the general consensus.
There you go, Steve.
So obviously,
Anything else?
I think this regulation is obviously in your guys' favor, right? This is a good thing for home inspectors.
Correct.
You know, but we'll see how it plays out because I don't know that it's in the best interest of the consumer. Yeah, I think in theory it's good, buyers that aren't comfortable doing this shouldn't be doing it. But at the same time, as a consumer, you should be able to do whatever you want to do as part of a negotiation. So,
Mhm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. They'll probably find loopholes to get around it, but we'll see how that shakes out.
anybody
I
else
just have-
heard anybody else heard anything on this regulation or want to just chime in on the regulation?
the last I heard, it was under review, but you knew more than I did. Steve,
Yeah.
if it's coming out in June.
Lauren, I saw you unmute. I don't know if you're.
July 15th is the official day where it's supposed to be in practice. They have until June 15th to complete all the regulations around it. And then there are a couple exceptions to this. So immediate family members, trustee sales, things like that. There was a list, maybe like 5 or 6 items on there where it did not apply. And buyers still can choose not to do the inspections if they don't want to, if they don't want to incur that cost after the offer is accepted. It's just no longer going to be able to say whether or not you're going to do it prior to the accepted offer. And then we're gonna have to be additionally careful because you can't put it in a text, you can't put it in an email that you're not gonna do it, even if you don't intend to. Because if it's implied in any way and then some other party was to find that out, then you're in breach of this law.
Thank you for the info, Lauren. Anyone else on that? So I did have a question for the group. What is one thing that we as inspectors could do to help you close deals? Aside from saying everything's perfect, don't worry about it.
Anything that you guys are struggling with from home inspectors?
I think when the home inspector can explain that it is something that is more commonly seen, right? Especially to like a first time buyer or something like that. They think everything means that the house is complete garbage or about to blow up or a huge deal. So I think the ability to properly disclose, hey, this is something you're going to want to pay attention to over time. Hey, this is something we see in a majority of houses. I don't know what your regulations and how things have to be said, but I've heard them delivered, in a different sort of level, I guess, of the importance of them as they're being shown to the homeowner in the property, and that tends to ease things for them.
Yeah, I love this suggestion, John. I don't know if you guys do this on the regular, but hey, for a house of this age, and I don't know if you can use percentages, but half the time we would see an issue like this, right? This is not a rare thing. So I think just making it that it's pretty common one way or another, I definitely think that type of wording eases the mind of the consumer.
Okay, great point. We do, just to answer your question, we do 2 different inspections, but we have a walk and talk, which is a strategy that we use during the inspection. So we promote having the BA and the client walk around with us so they can, understand what's going on with the home. We also have an inspection called Know Your Home, where we strictly look at 5 points and write a report on that. And they're the core components of the home: HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roof, and basic foundation. So we educate our inspectors to not demonstrate how much they know on an inspection. They just need to be kind of plain vanilla and not excite anyone one way or the other. We don't give quotes out there. We don't say, go ahead and negotiate this, because that's just not appropriate to say. But yes, we fully educate our clients, the ones who want to be involved in that. And most of them do, based on the way that we do it, because it's very engaging. It's very easy for the inspectors because they do it all the time. And we work on our training every other week to not scare clients as we go through these homes. And some, believe me, we've been through some hovels out there. And, for the most part, everything's fixable. But, our conduct is based on the condition of the house as well. So we might just be plain vanilla, but there's a laundry list of things that we have to, cover with the client. So again, we feel that these walk and talks and the know your home inspections are really great for new homeowners and existing. So
Anybody else with just some feedback? Hey, I see this a lot. This works well. Anything else?
we use a
Anything-
term like mold-like substance, things along those lines, because we're not mold experts, so we can't say, yes, that's definitely mold. That's where we have to test it. But, we work on language that is easy for them to absorb and come away with, a great experience and a great new knowledge of that home that they're looking to buy.
I think just the fact that you're focused on language, John, is the key, because I think it's the delivery, it's how it's perceived by that consumer after that delivery that really can make or break these things.
Mm-hmm.
I like the stoplight method where it's like you, on the inspection report, you color code things either red, yellow, or green. Green being really minor, like, I don't know, chip paint or something like that. This isn't a hazard right now, but it is there. And then red being like, this is an immediate hazard or concern that should be addressed as soon as possible, because then that huge inspection report now looks a little less daunting, and we can redirect our attention to those major items, and then those can be part of a negotiation. I think I've noticed buyers feel safer about that, so that these things that are, let's say, more common, they're not as scared about, but they're still aware of them. And then we're better educated on what needs to be taken care of immediately.
So the way we have it is the way you just described it. So, the top of our report is all the red comments. And if you click on the red comment, it'll take you to that spot on the report where you have pictures and a write-up, a bit more of a write-up. And then we have blue, which is maintenance, green, which is general repairs, and then black, which is just general comments. So yeah, it makes it much easier, and it's broken out by colors, which is awesome. Are you seeing that with other companies out there?
Yeah, I'm in Eastern Mass and on Cape Cod, so I'm not sure if you guys come out this far, but yeah, I've had a few that do it, but then when it's somebody I don't recommend that the buyer picks, and then they come out, I've just seen inspection reports look a lot scarier than they really are because there's no distinction. So when there is a distinction, it's a lot better.
Yeah, we used to have, when I first got here, like 80-page reports. I'm like, this is untenable. But with Todd's help and the inspectors, we've gotten it down to, generally 40 to 45 pages. Unless it's a bigger house and more issues, but that's 80 pages is way too much to absorb.
Anybody else have anything in particular you're seeing done that you just absolutely love from the home inspection company?
So have any of them given you a wow factor when they do inspections? Going above and beyond. Like I brought a coffee cake. Well, I brought, excuse me. I made a coffee cake 2 Fridays ago and brought it out to an inspection because it was a big deal for the realtor. And yeah, they loved it. I mean, it was really it was pretty cool bringing that out there. So now I'm gonna bring more capes out there. I like to bake.
I have to say, John, I've never had a home inspector bring me goodies to eat. And you are there for a couple of hours, so interesting.
Yeah, I brought coffee, cake, and Starbucks, so they were all happy.
Anything
right.
else you guys have seen a home inspection company do to put a little bit of a wow factor?
I was thinking about doing a orange sneaker pop in, so if they saw me with the orange sneakers on an inspection, then they got a gift certificate or something, but so we're kicking ideas around like that. But
Yeah,
I
just
found some green Pumas that I might buy too, so we'll see.
online, we've just got a comment talking about books that buyers get to use for their personal maintenance plan. So it's kind of built out for them. And I know you guys have, what do you call it, Home Binder or something?
Yeah, but Dave wrote a book years ago, just about what you're talking about.
Okay.
So I'll get you the name, but if you Google Dave Sherwood home inspection book,
Yep.
it'll probably come up. But I'll get the official name from Dave and shoot it over.
And what does that give you? Kind of a maintenance plan of like once you're a homeowner type of a thing?
Yeah, it's basically a know your home and here's what to look for. So it's comprehensive because it's Dave.
Pretty cool. But why don't you just, we'll wrap up the home inspection portion of the show today with just a quick overview of what Home Binder is, John.
So HomeBinder is a platform that the client gets via email about 24 hours after the inspection. And it's populated, it's a platform that keeps track of anything that you want to put in there for your home, to include the color of paint, all of the stuff from the inspection, like the boilerplate info that's populated. Your home report, your whole report is in there. And then again, whatever you want to put in there as far as maintenance, who's your maintenance person, what color paint you have, when are batteries due on smoke detectors. So it's really comprehensive, but it all depends on, what you put in it. But we feel it's a great platform. We think it's a beneficial asset that we give to our clients for free, and the ones that use it love it. The ones that and we rarely get comments about don't send me this stuff, or if anything, we're educating them on how to use it as opposed to taking them off of home.
Because I think there's some like cadence to it, right? If you put information in, it'll also send you emails or text messages or something that says, hey, this is due, or this is coming up, or your warranty is about to expire on this, or something like that.
Correct. You would get, and this happened to a client of ours who had a faulty boiler, and she got an email that there was a recall, email from HomeBinder, and it saved her $15,000. Otherwise, she wouldn't have known that there was an issue or a warranty. So it does alert you. That's why the boilerplate information is key, because it tracks that, and it'll call up any warranty issues, anything going on with that needs attention. You'll get a notification.
Any questions on Home Binder, guys? Anybody have a client use it? Does the agent get a copy of that, or do they see any of that, or I forget how that part works?
They do not see it, but if they, if they want, trying to figure out the best way to do it. Let me send a link out that will fully explain it.
Okay.
And then depending on if somebody wants to use it, we could probably set it up as a test. Because we want people to use it, not only our clients, but we're trying to build a population that uses it.
Yeah.
So the more we can promote it, and talk about these situations where, warranty notices have gone out, people have saved a lot of money, and these are big ticket items. So I've limped through the last 2 winters with a boiler that just should be replaced, but I'm cheap, so I'm not, I'll limp through it and get some thermal underwear if I need to, but it'll be a while.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. I wanted to just share a Chat GPT win. You guys know I am a big AI fan, and just kind of throwing it out there to always, when in a jam, try ChatGPT first. So my story from yesterday, I'm trying to just return a product. This is a product that apparently comes out of Canada. And so, I went through the process online to just do the return, and they sent me very detailed instructions, 6 different steps, 2 PDFs, print this out, attach it to the box, print this out, put 1 copy in the box and put another copy outside the box, and then just bring it to your local FedEx. They went as far as, the company went as far as to say, hey, and we've located the nearest FedEx to your house. So I thought it was a really good, really seamless return process until I got to the FedEx location. So I get to the FedEx location. I've got the box. I've got the shipping label. I've got this invoice, and he says to me, "Oh, wait." This is going international. You need I think he called it an air bill. I think that was the term, an air bill, which apparently is what customs is going to need to get it over the border or something. And he's like, I can't process this. You'll have to come back when they get you the air bill. And I said, well, let me get on with their customer support team and see why they didn't give me an air bill, because it was just so detailed that it's like, they've clearly done returns on this product before. I can't imagine that they don't have this process nailed down. And I didn't have access to there was no customer support chat. It was all via an email. So I just pulled up ChatGPT. I said, hey, I copied the email that they had sent me and said, hey, these are the instructions they gave me. I've just gotten to FedEx, and they're telling me I need this air bill. Is it possible I really need this air bill, or is the FedEx guy mistaken? And the first thing is, it's possible that you need the air bill, but it's also possible that this FedEx guy is mistaken. Have him rescan the barcode. They now have the ability to get these air bills digitized, right? And maybe he's never seen a digitized air bill where it's included in the shipping label. So I said, hey, you know what? It's kind of weird that their chat support got back to me and said that the air bill should be included in the shipping label. Could you rescan it? He rescanned. He's like, oh, wow, I've never seen this before. So this is a guy this is what he does for a living. And this would have cost me like hours if I had not just kind of thrown it in there just to kind of see what the feedback was going to be. So just in your day-to-day lives, please make sure you are talking to one of these AI platforms if you're stuck in a jam with anything. So I don't know if anybody else has got anything recently AI related that you were just in a jam, you went to chat, and it solved it for you. Meg?
Good morning, everybody. So I brought a property to market last week, and we had our deadline for offers yesterday. I happened to be in the office yesterday, and I was compiling all the offers and putting them into the spreadsheet I used to do a side-by-side comparison with the sellers. And I thought, as I was inputting all this data, like, I wonder if there was a way, like, if I scan these into ChatGPT, if it would, you know, do this for me. I'm still going to try that because I haven't yet. But what I ended up doing was taking the finished Excel spreadsheet and putting that into ChatGPT, and just out of curiosity, asking it like to do an analysis of the offers that we had and provide me with recommendations or potential negotiating strategies that I could share with my sellers. So before I did that, I analyzed the data as I normally would and came up with what I felt were like the top 3 offers, and then obviously knew where I would suggest the sellers negotiate on each one. So when I got the input from ChatGPT, it was pretty cool. So it identified like basically a top 3, and then it also identified other alternatives. Like, for example, if it said if financing is the most important to your sellers, this is the top contender. While it's not the highest priced home, maybe you can take offer number 1 and say, ask them to increase their sales price or change the terms. So I don't know. It was just a different application of ChatGPT, and I thought it was pretty cool to see the output that it gave you.
Yeah, and Meg, I would argue that moving forward, I wouldn't take the time to fill out your spreadsheet. I had a project I was working on the other day with a friend of mine who sent me. He's a doc, and he sent me the most chicken scratch document with some notes that he had taken about some ideas that he has. And I threw it into ChatGPT and I said, "Can you elaborate on this?" I wasn't even sure if it could read the handwriting. I mean, this is barely legible stuff. Not only did it read it, but it extrapolated on it like to the an amazing level. So my guess is if you just took those and said, "Hey, can you one put these in a spreadsheet categorized by the critical things?" And don't even tell it what the critical things are. Just see what it does. But remember, then if you wanted to, like, let's say it didn't. I don't know. It didn't put down payment into a column or something like that. The next time you just give it the same instruction and say, please make sure that down payment is one of the columns. And remember, these things are learning now at a significantly higher rate, and the memories are like exponential almost. So anything that you've told it, the next time you won't have to tell it that again. So yeah, my guess is if you just scan those in, upload file, upload file, upload file, upload file. Hey, give me an analysis of these, put them into a spreadsheet so I can present to my client, or put them into another format that might be better for my client to receive these. I think it's going to do an amazing job. So I'd love for somebody to try that and give us some feedback. Steve.
So one thing I've been using almost every week when I have, 3 to 5 showings and, say they're all in Springfield or I might have one Chicopee. I used to use MapQuest and try to figure out the best route. Now I just say, give me the best route. I'm coming from Palmer for these 5 addresses, and it just lists them. I'll screenshot that, send it right to the buyer and be like, here's the order that makes most sense. And they're like, that's great. Like I was wondering which one would, because you like Springfield's huge. You could be going from one side to the other. And if you don't, strategize, you could be wasting a whole hour between 4 or 5 showings. So, I mean, I do that regularly. It's not as impressive as, things you guys were talking about, but something that I'm doing every single week now.
No, I would say that's super impressive, Steve. I think, when I was doing it, I was just using Google Maps and trying to move Google Maps a lot. I put all the addresses in, and then I think it allows you to kind of slide them around. But man, it's got to be fractions of the time if you can just put it into chat. So
If you
awesome.
go into showing time,
Yeah.
you can create a showing time cart where you put in all your addresses and hit smart route, and it'll show you the best route to follow all the properties, the drive time between them. So it helps you book um, timing for those properties as well. It's super easy.
Yeah,
Does
showing
it,
time's way better than
Yeah.
does it do it for if they're not in showing time, as
Yep.
long as
You
it's
just
on
can't
MLS?
book them as long as you have the MLS number. You can go into showing cart, put all the MLS numbers or property addresses right in there that you plan on showing for that day. Hit a smart route. It'll give you the smart route. If you actually need to start at a different property, you can like pin one. So that has to be my starting point, and it'll do it for you.
See, I told you it was less impressive, Steve.
Hey, I forgot about that showing time feature. So good reminder. Linda,
you can bulk.
go ahead, Adam.
I was gonna say you can bulk request all your showings too. So let's say you've got 6 properties, you line them up like Lauren said. It's gonna say from A to B is 15 minutes, so you know when to request all your showings. You kind of line it all up, and then you can just hit one button and it requests all the showings at one time. And then of course you just wait and hope that they all get confirmed. But definitely check that out.
Let's just talk about that feature a little bit more. So I get them in the right order because it gave me the smart route. But now do I tell it, hey, I need 15 minutes per showing. I want 30 minutes per showing, or does it what does it
Yep.
do?
You can
Yeah.
select all that. You can select how much time you want at the showings. You can arrange the times that you want in there. And then it does, like Steve was asking, for ones that you can't book online, it lets you know that those are ones that you need to go book separately yourself.
Cool. Anybody else just want to comment on the showing time? And I see 2 hands. I'll get to Linda and Molly next. Anything else about the showing time, smart route stuff? All right, Linda, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about that feature too. I absolutely love it. It's amazing. And so when you go in with your first request, you have to make sure that you click on that you're creating a showing cart as opposed to just doing a single showing. And that then gets it all teed up for you. And when you click on the smart route, it shows you how much time, of course, from A to B, so that you can then determine how much time you want to request for each showing. And it's just a fabulous feature. And then you can share that once everything has been. You can click on request showings in bulk, as Adam said, and once they've all been approved, then you can share that with your clients. So it sends directly to them, so they have the whole list and the order and all of that. And it's just brilliant and it's wonderful.
Awesome. Awesome. Molly, bring us home.
All right. So if I'm at a showing and I come across like something mechanical that I'm just have no idea what it is, I'll just shoot a picture in a chat GPT, try to get like the name of the brand, model number in it, and just say like, what is this? And usually it'll give me a pretty accurate guess, at least just to spring off of. Same for like furnace. You can obviously look up the model number yourself, but if you just put a picture in a chat GPT, oftentimes it can tell you the guess of the year of that too.
Yeah, I've been using photo recognition a lot lately. Needed filter cartridges the other day and just took a picture and said, can you figure out what model this is and what cartridges I will need? I did it for something else. I needed to know how to like reset an Android iPad. And so I just said, hey, for this make and, I took a picture and said, hey, can you just tell me how to do a factory reset on this? And so it figured out what model it was and yada, yada. And hey, here's the steps. And so pretty cool stuff. I mean, the camera recognition stuff at this point is getting pretty crazy. Linda.
I have one final comment, and it has to do with ChatGPT. And when my daughter was in town, we were talking to my next door neighbor, and I don't know how we got on the topic, but we were talking about ChatGPT. And I was telling her, for example, that, I might write a draft of a letter, and then I'll throw it to ChatGPT and say, please rewrite this letter in a conversational tone, because it's going to do it so much better than I can. And so my daughter said, Mom, do you actually say to ChatGPT, please? And when you're making your request, I said, oh, I most certainly do. And they were cracking up because I'm talking to it as if I would speak to a human being. Well, the next day, my daughter came to me and she goes, do you know what, Mom? I checked on that and I learned that if you speak to ChatGPT in a very respectful way, it gives you a more responsive and robust reply.
I believe it. That's great. I would challenge you, Linda. The only thing that you said there that I think you've got backwards is I would be starting with ChatGPT. I wouldn't be writing anything. Start there, then put your human touches on it. I think it is at a level that's incomprehensible at this point, and it gets better like daily. So hopefully you guys are playing with it. I would love to get a couple of more shares. We're out of time today, but maybe if there's some things that you're doing with it, bring it back to tomorrow's show. So it's super powerful. I just believe this is the future, right? You will just have this assistant that's going to know you inside and out. The more you talk to it, the more it knows, right? So I'll finish with like it knowing the supplements that I take. And if I talk to it about a new supplement, it'd be like, oh, you're already getting part of that nutrient in this other supplement that you take, so you wouldn't need that. It's literally that smart. So start to play with this, because I think the more it knows about you, it can answer without you having to be so specific. It'll start to learn. It'll learn the ages of your kids and maybe make suggestions if you're going to make a life decision. Hey, considering you have these 2 kids, you should think about this or that or the other. So it's wild. I love it. All right, we are way over. Appreciate you guys. Great show today. We'll do it again tomorrow. And reminder, we won't be doing it on Friday. So go crush your Wednesdays. We'll talk to you in the morning. Take care.